What is going on, everyone? I'm excited for today's video because I'm going to show you something that probably nobody realizes with the as-is contract, and it's extremely important to understand the real way of using these contracts versus the way that we're kind of using them, and I'll explain more. So remember, every day I'm going to do a different video on the as-is contract. So today we're going to talk about what I feel is the most important. Now, obviously, this, I'll go through real quick, the name, the title company, the purchase price. Yes, all this is important. The closing date, but I want to show you something that I feel that is extremely important for everyone to understand. Now, that is the inspection. Okay, when we sell a house and buy a house using the as-is contract, it is interpreted as this. The house is as is, and the buyer has the right to do their inspections. But there is nothing in this that says you are allowed to renegotiate. But I'm going to show you why we do, and I'm going to show you what agents don't even realize they're doing and how to do it the right way. So watch. If you look at here, it says the property inspection right to cancel, buyer shall have blank amount of days. What that means is when I'm negotiating with the seller, I have the right to do inspections within the days that we both come to agree with. Now, if it's a super crazy seller's market where the inventory is low and there's tons of buyers, you're probably going to get the least amount of days. I've even seen it at 0. I advise you never to do that, but I've seen 1, 2, 3 days. In an unbelievable buyer's market, kind of like what we're in now, those days skyrocket. And what that does, it gives the buyer the right to do, and it says, perform as shall desire during inspection period, right? Have such inspections of the property performed as buyer shall desire during inspection period. So what they're saying is during the inspection period, I, the buyer, can do whatever inspections I desire to do, okay? But now keep following. If buyer determines in buyer's sole discretion that the property is not acceptable to buyer may terminate this contract by delivering written notice of such election to seller prior to expiration. So let me backtrack so we can go over this together. When I'm buying your property, I am putting down money towards escrow within the first couple of days. So let's just say, for instance, I'm buying a $500,000 house. I put $5,000 in escrow. Now I have this window to do my inspections, whatever I decide to do. And then I can come back to you and say, this house is not up to my standards. I write a written release. Sorry, I'd like to walk away from the deal. At that point, seller has to release funds of escrow to me and we walk away. Now, if you keep reading, it says, deposit shall be returned to buyer. Thereupon, buyer and seller shall be released of all and further obligations under this contract. Then it says, however, buyer shall be responsible for payments of inspections, damages, and restoration. So basically what it's saying is, during the inspection, if me, the buyer, and my inspector damaged anything or whatever the case may be, we have to fix it. We have to take care of it. Here is what people do not understand about this contract, and it's very important to understand. Right here, it says, unless buyer exercises the right, so to terminate, buyer accepts the physical condition of the property and any violation of governmental building, environmental and safety codes restrictions or requirements, but subject to seller's continuing as is maintenance required. And buyer shall be responsible for any and all repairs and improvements required by buyer's lender. All right, here's the eye opener. Here's the, because I don't want you guys to get confused. Now I'm going to explain this, how this actually works. When somebody goes to buy a house using the as-is contract, because remember, there's different contracts you can use, but we're using the as-is here, which is like 99% of agents use. It basically says here, I only have 2 choices as a buyer. I accept it as is, or I walk away from the deal. Nothing in this paragraph says that I can renegotiate at all. And this is how the renegotiation is done. They say, you're supposed to say, my buyer feels that this is not up to their standards, they will be walking away and terminate. Unless you would like to do this. There's nothing in here that says I have 3 options. I can buy it as is, I can renegotiate, or I can walk away. It says one or the other. Because there's actually another contract that you can use that's all about the negotiation of repairs. This is not a repair contract. And what is also mind-boggling that agents don't realize is if I accept the property as is, and then I move on, and then the appraiser comes back and says there's things that need to be done, the lender wants you to fix like certain things. This contract actually says the buyer shall be responsible for any or all repairs and improvements required by the buyer's lender. The reason why things aren't done exactly the way they're supposed to be done, it's because of the market you're in, right? It's like a old cowboy or standoff, right? So it's like, yeah, the contract might say I can take it as is or walk away, right? That's what the contract says. All right, well, I'm going to walk away. And then the seller's like, well, I don't want you to walk away. Well, I got to walk away. It's not up to desire for what I want. Well, what do you want? I want all these things fixed. Well, if I do it, will you buy the house? Yeah, I'll buy the house if you do that. Okay, I'll do it then. That's exactly the market. But we just don't do things exactly the way it should be done. And a lot of these contracts that we use, they've started this way and they've went this way. I mean, if you brought this up to an attorney, they would look at it and say the same thing. No, it doesn't say you can renegotiate. You either take it or leave it. That's it. But that's fine. The as-is contract is built for you to take it or leave it. Nothing more, nothing less. But in the certain markets, you can renegotiate because the seller doesn't want you to terminate. And this is why I do these videos, so you guys understand everything that you need to understand. So remember, there's different contracts. Okay, contract A is the new builds, right? The builders. Those are completely different. Those are protected the builders only. That's it. They protect the builders. You have the contracts that are as-is contracts, which is like most people use. And the reason why most people use it, it kind of protects both buyer and seller. It's like seller sells the property as is. Buyer can walk away or take it, right? And then there's the other contract. It's like the inspection or the fixing. I can't even think of it. It's like a FAR bar, which is like, no, the credits, right? No, you have to fix these things up to a certain amount of money. And then the seller has the right to redo inspections to find out if everything's wrong or right. But it's like a forced contract almost to be like, yes, you have to fix things, right? But because we've been so used to using the as-is contract and using it wrong, we're so susceptible to be like, oh, this is the as-is contract. Take it or leave it and renegotiate. And that's why it's important to hire agents that really understand the business and understand everything, because we're here to protect you. And I do this all day, every day, and I'm still educating myself. Every single day I educate myself. This is why I'm doing these videos for you guys. So today was number 12, 260, property inspection, right to cancel on the as-is contract, where it shows you, and I left it here for a while, nowhere in here does it say that you can renegotiate, right? It says the complete opposite. But in the market we're in, we can say buyer's terminating unless, right? And you can do it that way. So please keep following me. Ask me any questions you have. I love doing stuff like this. I have more videos coming out teaching you guys all about the as-is contract. I'm going to keep teaching you guys so much more. This is important stuff you guys need to know. Any questions? Let me know. Talk to you soon.